Now, the All Progressive Congress will be going into Saturday's local government elections in Lagos State as the ruling political party. Most people would say the party to beat on account of its more than 20 years of stranglehold on power in the state. Needless to say that at the point within the time in question, APC was almost 100% untouchable in its handling of the affairs of the state, mostly owing to the mastery and the dexterity of the controlling bloc within the party. Now, interestingly though, there has emerged in recent times dissenting voices actively questioning not just the mode of operation in governance style, but ways of charting a course towards the 2023 elections. Can all these come to play on Saturday? Well, for answers, we are now being joined by Usman Akanbi Hamzat, incumbent Vice Chairman of Ifako Ijaya local government area of Lagos State and the chairmanship candidate of the All Progressive Congress. Welcome to Newsday. Now let's get started.
Welcome,
the first question out of the blocks will be, what are the chances of APC sweeping clean the votes on the day? How confident is the party going into the elections on Saturday?
Well, good afternoon. My name is Prince Usman Akanbi Hamzat, the incumbent Vice Chairman of Ifako Ijaya local government and the APC chairmanship candidate for the forthcoming elections. Well, it's so glaring. If you look at our campaigns, I can actually say it's more like there's no other party contesting in the local government. We've been the only one talking to the people. We've been moving around, and we have the mammoth crowd. So there's no other party in the local government that has actually been doing their campaigns. So they are nowhere to be found. So we are very confident we are going to win the election come Saturday.
Isn't that just the problem, Mr. Akanbi? The fact that you seem to have a monopoly, as it appears, on winning the elections. We had the publicity secretary of the youth party with us earlier, and he said that in one of the areas where his own candidate was campaigning, your candidate didn't as much as have a poster up, and people feel that perhaps you have taken their support for granted. So though I'm just putting that as an alternative to what you're presenting, that your campaign is what is winning the crowds for you. What do you say to that?
Well, it's not just the campaign that is winning the election for us. What the Lagos State government has been done, that the ruling party in Lagos State, which is APC, what they've been doing is also a campaign for us. You know, they've done a lot, and you can also testify to that. And if you look at the federal government too, if you look at the rail system, no government has actually touched that in the last 40 years. And the construction of roads, you know, a lot of things is actually happening. If you look at the rail sectors now, we have rail trains that move from Lagos to Ibadan and all that, which has actually helped a lot. So that is actually what is assisting us with our campaign. You know, I said because of our rallies and all that, it has actually shown that the people actually love the party. Look at the president when he went for his Eid al-Kabir prayer. You see, he walked from the prayer ground to his house. If you see the mammoth crowd chanting his name, applauding him and all that. So it's not just our campaign. Our campaign has actually showed that the party is popular, and our candidates are popular as well. It's not because of our campaigns. Whatever anybody says that the posters have been taken off and all, it happens everywhere. So it's not about the posters we paste. It's about what the government has actually done, what the party has actually done. We've done more than enough, or more than what the PDP party has done in 16 years. So
well, a lot of people bring that to question.
Campaigning for us. It is what we have.
Mr. Hamzat, a lot of people will question that because when you live in Lagos and you actually drive across two cross ends in Lagos, a lot of people will question that so much has been done in the time that the APC, or whatever nomenclature it has actually carried over the years, has actually really given the people of Lagos some dividends of democracy.
Oh, I didn't get that question. Can you come again with the question, please?
People are not feeling the dividends of democracy from the ruling party here in Lagos State over the years, despite the fact that every single election cycle, APC or the leading party in the state always dominates?
Well, I will not accept that. I won't agree with that. I mean, if you look at before Governor Asiwaju became the governor of Lagos State, we will realize that we have series of strike from the primary school teachers, the secondary school teachers. But when he came into government, we realized that that has actually stopped. So that is one sector where our people has actually been doing well. If you say people has not really feel the impact of APC in Lagos State, I will just cite an example of the road constructions in Lagos State. In the whole of Nigeria, I can say that authoritatively, that there is no state that has actually done well like what the Lagos State government has been doing. They've constructed a whole lot of road. Look at the Lagos-Badagry Express Road, which they are doing. Most of the federal roads are also being constructed in Lagos State. So I think the government is trying what they can do to make sure that the people feel the dividends of democracy in Lagos State. So I would not agree with that the government people has not been feeling the impact. They have actually been feeling that impact of the government. Look at the security situation in Lagos State. Despite the fact that Lagos State has a large population, influx of even Hausas and all that, we can actually say that Lagos is very, very safe. So people have actually been feeling the impact of the APC, the ruling party in Lagos State.
Okay, Mr. Akanbi Hamzat, you mentioned the president and how popular he was when he walked through the streets of Daura. Some have said that popularity in one area doesn't necessarily reflect popularity across board, and that had the president been able to do the same thing, maybe in the southeast or the south-south, he may most likely not have gotten that kind of a reception. But I put that to one side. When you speak of the popularity of your party and how people respond to you, some have said that local governance is the weak link, that somehow where we need to have grassroots governance the most is where we find it lacking, and possibly due to lack of your access to funds. What do you say to that? What is going to happen this time around that will make local governance much more accessible and much more efficient and effective?
Well, let me first talk about the popularity of the president. Well, there's this, I was reading something on the social media where someone said Nigerian Twitter made him feel that if the president walked the street of any state in Nigeria, he would be stoned. So meaning that the social media has actually been lying about the popularity of the president. So see, we need to understand this. Governance is a continuous thing. No government can actually finish everything. See, I always tell people that during the last administration, when the PDP were in government, the Boko Haram, they had a coordinated attack. They've actually taken over the whole of Borno State. But look at it now. I can tell you for free that there are no coordinated attacks by the Boko Haram again. We just have slight attacks from here and all that, which happens everywhere around the world. So I think the president is doing a lot, and we need to appreciate that. Well,
Sorry, if you don't mind my saying, just to interject.
The second question.
We know that a recent development during the time the president has been in authority has been that ISWAB and Boko Haram are actually converging. They're actually forming some form of an alliance. That sounds very coordinated.
Well, see, okay, let me say this. Has there been any festive period where we don't have bomb blasts, bombing of probably worship centers and all that? In the last 1 year, 2 years, I don't think there has actually been any attack. People are always scared of going out to even pray on our festive period. But look at this festive period. We all were free to go to the prayer centers to pray, churches and all that. See, when I say coordinated attacks are attacks where the Boko Haram, they have their bases. They've taken over the whole of Borno. They've taken over 80% of the whole of Borno State. But where are they now? They are scattered all around. Even in the US, you have people that will just go to a mall and shoot and all that. It happens everywhere. You know, is what I'm saying is they
Mr.
don't have
Hamzat,
a
for the
base
brevity
like
of
they used to
time,
have before.
Permit me to just zoom in and vista into the Ifako-Ijaya area, because it's been residents have complained of robberies and even killings. As we get into the election, what are you going to be assuring people who live in that area of Fagba and some of those areas where we've seen incessant robberies time and time again?
Well, in that area, you're right. We have a lot of attacks and all that in that area. But what I can assure us, one, we first need to understand that security is not just a government thing. Security has to do with every individual. You know, we know the people in our community. So what we have actually been trying to do, is to make sure that we talk with the community to know the situation of things in their community.
Thank
Make
you,
sure
Mr.
we have a
Akanbi
call
Hamzat.
center.
We appreciate your making time for us. Sorry, we've run out of time on this particular segment. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.